Um, hey, I don't know what I should say. Hey, subscribers. I'm feeling much better than I was yesterday. If you saw my TNA Impact video, you know what I'm talking about. Yesterday I had a cold, but today it went away, so I'm feeling a little bit better. So hopefully, this video may be a little better than my TNA video. It was still a good video. It was just I was sick, so. But I've been trying to do superstars, but um I can't find a video for it. Because normally Superstars is online, but WWE hasn't posted it yet. So I don't think there's going to be a Superstars review this week. I, I don't think there will be. Yeah, because today is already Saturday. So maybe there'll be a Superstars review next week. Maybe. Um, it's not that late. I normally do my videos real late, but it's not that late. It's only 10:48. Um, so let me get started. Well, it was WWE SmackDown. This is my SmackDown review for September the 21st, 2012. It was in Philadelphia, Philly, which is real close to here, to where I live, really. I'm not sure if Raw will be in PA also. The last time Raw came to Pennsylvania, not too long ago, it was in Wilkes-Barre. That wasn't too long ago, and last year I saw SmackDown at Hershey, PA. So it's good. But I really wanted to see Raw when it came to my hometown, which is Baltimore. But gotta wait. But it was in Philadelphia. SmackDown took place in Philadelphia. If you're from Philly, you probably know that. um, Edge opens the show. It was good because it's good to see Edge back on SmackDown. He's been out of the ring for 18 months, which a year and a half really, which sucks. It really does. But my opinion is this: WWE needs to build up its Divas division again. They really do. Because we hardly have anybody. We have Eve, we have Layla, Alicia Fox, Natalia. Rumored that Beth Phoenix is leaving. And Caitlyn. That's only 5 people. How can you balance 5 people between 2 shows? They need to bring AJ back. AJ shouldn't have ever left the Divas division. Let AJ go back to the Divas division to build it up so they can get more TV time, and let Edge be general manager on Raw, which is good. He can't wrestle anymore, but it keeps him around wrestling, if that makes any sense. But I think Edge should be Raw general manager. Booker T has been doing a good job as SmackDown general manager. I think he's doing a better job than AJ. That's my opinion. But Edge comes out. He opens the show, which leads to Daniel Bryan coming out, which leads to Kane coming out. And Edge brings up all the stuff that happened back in like 2003 when Lita was still in the WWE, and Edge and Lita were supposed to get married, but Kane came and interrupted the wedding. If you've been watching, I've been watching for 10 years, but if you've been watching for a couple years, you know what I'm talking about. It happened around 2003, I think. It was basically the same thing that happened now with AJ, but back then it was Lita. Now it's AJ. But Kane ends up giving Edge a hug, which anytime Kane gives anybody a hug is always awkward. You could that was foreshadow that using some school words. Foreshadow the hug, and then just just as about when Edge and Kane were going to invite Daniel Bryan into a group hug, Damien Sandow interrupts, which leads to a match set up by Booker T during a commercial of Kane versus Damien Sandow, whom everyone who watches my reviews know. I don't like Damien Sandow. He's a fake Chris Masters. But Damien Sandow was able to pull off the win with a distraction from Daniel Bryan with the tag team championships in his hand. He keeps saying that he's the tag team champions, even though they must understand that tag teams equals two people. They both fail to realize that. And then there's a video segment of Kane and Daniel Bryan backstage with the doctor. Sorry. Well, I just got sleepy all of nowhere. But there's a video of the doctor, Dr. Shelby, that's his name. But there's a video of him and Dan Bryan, they're talking backstage. So obviously the therapy sessions aren't working if Kane and Dan Bryan are still arguing and fighting. I still don't see how they're the tag team champions, but you know, it is what it is. And if you haven't heard, and Night of Champions, Booker T reinstated the Bro Kick, which shouldn't have been banned in the first place. Because I really don't think the Bro Kick is a serious move that could really injure anybody. It's just a kick. And I don't see why Randy Orton's punt was banned anyway either, you know. But next, yeah, Randy Orton's punt was banned. Like, he hasn't done it in 2 years. But Zack Ryder still has his kick though. I don't know. WWE has some flaws and loopholes in all their rules. But next there was Divas action. Eve was ringside. And Eve, if you haven't, like I said, if you haven't watched Night of Champions, you should know that Eve became the Divas champion and Night of Champs because someone took out Caitlyn backstage before her match started. We all know it was Eve. But Eve was ringside and there was a match between Layla and Natalya. It was only for 2 minutes long and Layla pulls off the ring. And if you haven't noticed, WWE has sponsored with I forgot the name of it, the Cancer Foundation, Women's Breast Cancer Foundation. That's why you see the WWE supports the season. I can't remember the name. But you see it on the ramp, there's like these pink logo stickers going down the ramp. And if you notice, on SmackDown, the middle ring is pink. And also John Cena's Rise Above Cancer t-shirt. So that's where all those things are coming from. I decided to add that in during the women's the match. But it was Layla versus Natalya, and I can guarantee you that in the next couple weeks leading up to the pay-per-view, Eve and Layla are going to be fighting and going at it. And it may be a triple threat at the next pay-per-view because Layla was her tag team champ. Layla wants her Divas championship back, and Caitlyn lost her opportunity because Eve took her out. So there could be triple threat action. Then we had some tag team action. I was getting a little ahead of myself. We have Del Rio and Ziggler versus Randy Orton, Sheamus. Del Rio comes out in a Lamborghini Black Gallardo Spider convertible. Teams up with Ziggler versus Randy Orton and Sheamus. It was an 8-minute match. It was a good match. This match should have been the main event. I'm not sure why it came so early in the show. It should have been the main event. Yeah, it came kind of early. It should have been the main event. I'm not sure why it wasn't. But Randy Orton, Sheamus pull off the win. As I said, it was an 8-minute match. And Sheamus wins with the bro kick, which was reinstated on Sunday. And then we have a match set up on Cody Rhodes versus Daniel Bryan. And just when Dan Bryan is about to lock in the LaBelle lock, Kane comes out with his fire pyro, which is loud. If you've ever been to a WWE show, I suggest if you ever go to a WWE show, watch the screen because they tell you what match is coming up. Because if you're not looking at what match is coming up next and Kane comes out, it scares you. And especially if you're ringside. I was third row. I was 3 seats. I was in the third row from the front. Yeah. I was in the front row, but I wasn't the third row, if that makes any sense. The third row. And that fire from the ring, the power from the ring, I felt that all the way, like, third and the third row. I'm trying to make it sense. The third row. I still felt the heat from that. It felt like I was baked in the oven. It was like 500 degrees in there. So if I felt that in the third row, I wonder how it feels in the ring. That it was just so warm. You probably can feel it like 7 rows back. That's how hot it gets. It's intense, but that causes a distraction for Dane Bryan, and Cody Rhodes wins the match. So Kane and Dane Bryan both lost their single matches that night. And then there was Brodus Clay versus Heath Slater. Heath Slater needs to be let go. He really does. Like, the guy isn't really doing anything. He keeps fighting Ryback, Brodus Clay. He isn't making a name for himself. He's just like the water boy on a football team. That's what Heath Slater is in WWE. But this was a very short match. Of course, it was a short match, and it was a squash match, just like Ryback matches. Brodus Clay match was short, but it wasn't short because of Brodus Clay defeating Heath Slater. Short because Brodus Clay was attacked by Slater, Drew McIntyre, and Jinder Mahal, all people from Superstars, which means, and I haven't really seen these guys face Brodus Clay before, and there also wasn't the Superstars this week, so I'm guessing that since there was no Superstars this week, these guys needed something to do. So WWE brought them out to attack Brodus Clay. And probably next week, there probably will be a 3-on-1 match, which is possible, since Brodus Clay is supposed to be a beast. But Slater, Drew McIntyre, and Jinder Mahal, all guys from Superstars who still haven't made a name for themselves after they've been in WWE for 2 years, still haven't did anything. Still haven't had any belts or anything. I don't know if WWE has gotten rid of superstars. It would be a good idea so they can focus on SmackDown and Raw. Because right now, TNA is better than WWE. It really is. Been watching WWE for 10 years, but TNA is doing better. The storyline on TNA is better than TNA. And I said this before, I'm always going to be a WWE fan, but I watch both just because I do reviews. Some of my subscribers are WWE fans and some are TNA fans, so I have to do both. I'm always going to be a WWE fan, but TNA is, right now is better. Right now is better. But they attacked them, and that was the end of that. So next week, there probably could be possibly a 3-on-1 handicap match next week on SmackDown. So look out for that. Then we have Santino Marella versus Antonio Cesaro, the United States champion. Santino needs to get the United States championship back. He really does. Santino, to me, seems weird without the United States champion. He deserves it back. He's a hardworking guy, and WWE is not using him correctly. They are not. Before he was on a losing streak. He's won a couple of matches since then, but he was just going downhill. Santino was doing bad, but hopefully he will continue to do good and win the United States Championship back, which will be good for Santino. But Oksana causes a distraction, which leads Santino to win the match. Which there have been a lot of distractions later going on SmackDown. Kane distracts Dan Bryan, then Dan Bryan distracts Kane. Now Oksana distracts Antonio because she was injured. Her knee was hurt. Supposedly her knee was hurt. That's what she's making it seem like her knee was injured. Could have been. To me, it seemed scripted. It seemed a little too scripted. You could tell that it was fake. Which leads to Antonio Cesaro and Oksana breaking up. Their relationship is over. How long they been together? 2 months. But they are no more together. Next week this is gonna be continued. It would be funny if Oksana started dating Santino. That would be funny. But Santino wins the match, which is good for Santino. And then we have some tag team action. We have Cody Rhodes I cannot read what this name is. Oh. Oh. We have Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow versus Kane and Dan Bryan tag team action. No, this was a good match because Kane and Dan Bryan, they both lost their single matches, but this was a good match to watch. Attack, but the interesting thing about this was that the other tag team well, not no more contenders, but other tag teams were ringside watching the match, like the Usos and Primetime. They were ringside watching the match. And trying to see a real so much stuff there. Well, during the match, Cody Rhodes just knew that they weren't going to win. Cody Rhodes attacks Dane Bryan with a chair, steel chair. When's the last time we saw a steel chair used? That's like back in the ECW days. But Cody Rhodes attacks with the chair. And then Kane gets revenge. And he attacks Sandow with the chair. And Rhodes with the chair. And you can see Dan Bryan and Kane working together towards the end of the match. And Daniel Bryan has Kane in a chair, and he attacks both of them with the steel chair. And at the end of them, and after they're finished beating up Sandow and Rhodes with the chairs, they beat him with the chairs. Kane retrieves the tag team championship belts. He hands one to Dan Bryan. And I guess they quit their fighting, at least for the end of the show, and they acknowledge that both of them are the tag team champions. And the show goes off, and that was the end of SmackDown. So the show may have started with Dan Bryan and Kane fighting and bickering, and both claiming that they were the tag team champions by themselves. But at the end of the show, they were able to pull it together. They both realized that they both need each other as tag team champions. Hopefully that stayed that way. It may be a different story on Monday Night Raw. They may be back at it again on Monday Night Raw, or next week on SmackDown. So let's see. I just want to see how long their tag team championship reign, how long that lasts. Hopefully long. They're good tag team champions. They're good. But I would like to see Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara as tag team champions. That would be good. Or Rey Mysterio versus Sin Cara 1-on-1. That would also be good. Either way, it would be good. But this is a long SmackDown review. But this is my SmackDown review for September 21st, 2012. Schedule tomorrow, Raw predictions. And Tuesday, Raw review. Wednesday, your questions answered part 4. So go check out your questions answered part 3 if you missed it. Go check out your questions answered, and then your questions answered part 2 and your questions answered part 3. Check out that whole series so you can be a part of your questions answered part 4. Then Thursday, Superstars, if there is a Superstars. If they're not, then we'll be no Superstars review. Probably find something else to do a video about. Friday, it will probably be TNA and SmackDown. Or maybe TNA and then SmackDown. Or maybe SmackDown on Friday and then TNA on Saturday. Who knows? It depends on how well the videos do. But if you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. Leave your comments. You should check out my channel for all the videos, new videos, and old videos. Make sure you subscribe.